The Quiet Invasion, the Albanian Mafia's silent conquest of Europe's shadows. What if the deadliest criminal empire on the continent had no flashy bosses in silk suits, no godfather thrones and gilded dens, but operated like a ghost in the machine? Clan-bound killers from mountain strongholds who flooded Europe's veins with heroin, laundered billions through Rotterdam's fog-shrouded docks, and built a borderless beast that devours from the dark without ever showing its face? Imagine a network so stealthy, so savage, that it slaughters rivals in broad daylight, yet leaves no fingerprints, no headlines, just whispers of the quiet invasion. A term coined by Europol in 2010 for the Albanian Mafia's invisible stranglehold on the underworld. Born from blood oaths older than empires, these ghost networks have seized the heroin arteries from the Balkans to the Benelux, turning forgotten villages into fentanyl factories and turning Europe's underbelly into their untouchable domain. No capital, no kingpins, just a hydra of clans where betrayal means a bullet in the brain, and silence is the ultimate sovereignty. As 2025's Europol raids unearth shipping containers stuffed with 2 tons of heroin and encrypted ledgers revealing $10 billion in laundered luxury, the invasion isn't over. It's evolving, slithering into crypto and cybercrime with the same silent ferocity. Strap in as we infiltrate this phantom federation, clan by clan, where every whisper is a warning and the quiet is deafening. Born in the mountains, blood oaths and clan codes older than Rome. It was the blood-soaked highlands of northern Albania, 15th century, where the Kanun, the ancient code of honor etched in stone by Leke Dukagjini, forged a warrior ethos that laughs at borders and bows to no law but loyalty. Picture jagged peaks where feuds fester like open wounds, and a man's word is sealed with the slash of a knife across the palm, blood mingling in a chalice of raki under the moon's merciless gaze. In these isolated valleys of the Malaysia, Imadi, and Dibur regions, clans like the Kelmendi and Hoti weren't just families. They were fortresses, their besa, sacred oath, a vow unbreakable as the Dinaric Alps, demanding vengeance for slights as small as a stolen goat or as vast as a murdered son. Fast forward to the 1990s. Communism's collapse unleashes hell. Hoxha's iron regime, which banned religion and private property for 45 years, crumbles, leaving 3 million Albanians in poverty's pit, their once collective farms now wild wastelands. Into this void slither the mountain clans, their Kanun codes weaponized for the new world. A 1997 pyramid scheme crash sparks anarchy, prisons empty in riots, and ex-cons, hardened by Hoxha's gulags, return to villages armed with smuggled Kalashnikovs and heroin hooks from Kosovo's Kosovo war chaos. Sensational spark. In Shkodër's shadowed bazaars, a Besa gone wrong ignites the first ghost feud. A clan elder's son, accused of rustling, is dragged from his bed, throat slit in ritual fashion, his blood used to anoint the killers, blades before they vanish into the mist-shrouded hills. No police dare pursue. The Kanun decrees an eye for an eye, but in Albania's lawless limbo, it's a vendetta that spirals into 500 deaths by 2000, clans like the Berisha and Shakja, turning blood oaths into business empires. The thriller tension? These mountain men aren't barbarians. They're brokers. Their code's a code of silence that binds brothers and brotherhoods too tight for betrayal, forging the foundation for an invasion that creeps without a sound. The Heroin Road, how a forgotten nation seized Europe's drug arteries. By 1995, Albania's anarchy was Europe's opportunity. A forgotten nation of 35 million, its Adriatic ports a sieve for smugglers, and its clans a crucible for chemists cooking heroin from Turkish poppies via the Balkan Route. Picture the fog-enshrouded docks of Durrës, where fishing boats laden with fresh fish unload crates of morphine base under cover of night, the air thick with the chemical tang of transformation. The Mutri, those wrestler enforcers from Sofia's shadows, found kin in Albania's Kanun clans, forming the Balkan Cartel, a hydra-headed heroin highway that pumped 80 tons annually into Europe by 2000, worth $15 billion. Turning villages like Lazarat into narco farms where opium fields bloom under Kalashnikov guard. Suspense surges in the road of death. Convoy trucks rumble from Tirana to Thessaloniki, Greek border guards bribed with suitcases of euros, but ambushes lurk. Rival clans like the Shala launching RPGs from mountain passes, tires exploding in fireballs that light the night, drivers dragged out and throats slit, their blood pooling on the asphalt as the victors claim the cargo. Sensational slaughter. In 1997's Lazarat massacre, Turkish smugglers are lured to a wedding feast in the village only to be slaughtered mid-toast, bodies dumped in a ravine, their heroin haul, 500 kilos, vanished into clan vaults, the bride's laughter masking the screams. By 2005, the route evolves. Submarines from Colombian cartels dock in Vlori, offloading cocaine to mix with heroin for White Widow, speedballs that flood Rotterdam's veins, the Albanian diaspora, 500,000 strong in Europe, serving as silent soldiers in the supply chain, their remittances funding more rifles for the hills. The quiet invasion? It's not guns, it's grams. A powder trail that turns Europe's addicts into unwitting accomplices. Clans like the Coca thriving on the chaos they created. Ghost networks, no names, no faces, only whispers. In the Mutri's web, identity is the ultimate illusion. A ghost network where faces shift like smoke, and names are as fleeting as fog over the Pyrenean Mountains. Picture a Sofia nightclub at midnight, strobe lights pulsing like heartbeats, where a besuited businessman, in Ray-Bans, gold Orthodox cross glinting, sips espresso and whispers a deal to a Turkish supplier. 100 kilos heroin for $5 million, sealed with a Biza handshake that binds like chains. No contracts, no calls, just couriers in unmarked vans, routes randomized by Kanun codes passed orally from elder to enforcer. The network a nebulous nebula of 50 clans spanning Albania to Austria. No central boss, but a council of shadows voting via encrypted couriers. Suspense in the silence. A 2001 Interpol sting nets a ghost. A Skoda taxi driver hauling $2 million in his trunk, only for his confession to evaporate under torture threats from unseen uncles. The clan retaliating with a car bomb that claims the agent's family in a Plovdiv market. Shrapnel shredding innocence as a warning. Speak, and your blood writes the next code. Sensational specter. The whisperers, elite couriers, former DS spies with faces altered by plastic surgery in Belgrade clinics, slip through airports with heroin sewn into suit linings. Their whispers in Tirana tea houses rerouting loads via drone drops over the Danube, evading EU scanners with bribes that buy blind eyes from border guards. In 2015's Operation Lionfish, Europol raids 20 safe houses, seizing $50 million, but the ghosts? They melt, re-emerging as legit fruit importers in Thessaloniki, their networks a vapor of vengeance, where a wrong word summons a disappearance, bodies surfacing in the Iskar River, throats slashed in ritual silence, the Kanun's code ensuring no face is remembered, no name uttered, only whispers warning the next to stay quiet. The Dutch connection. Rotterdam's docks become invisible highways. Rotterdam, 2010. Europe's busiest port, a labyrinth of cranes and containers where the Maas River meets the North Sea. Fog cloaking deals done in the dark. Here, the Mutri's mountain might meets maritime mastery. The Albanian clans, with their Kanun kin in the diaspora, turned Dutch docks into heroin superhighways, shipping 40% of Europe's supply via ghost containers, rigged with false bottoms and GPS spoofers. Suspense in the shipment. A Tirana trucker loads 500 kilos in a Vlori warehouse, the bricks vacuum-sealed in coffee sacks, driven to Durrës for a ferry to Bari. Italian middlemen, Ndrangheta cousins, reroute to Rotterdam, where Uncle Fatos, a Skoder expat posing as a fruit importer, unloads under customs, knows his bananas, hiding bundles worth $20 million. The thriller turn. A 2012 bust at Maasvlakte terminal nets 1 ton, but the driver, a bribed Albanian port worker, swallows cyanide before interrogation. His suicide note, forged or forced. A Kanun curse. The sea takes its own. By 2020, the connection corrupts. Rotterdam police logs, leaked 2025, reveal 30 officers on payroll, turning blind eyes to ghost ships from Durrës, their holds heavy with fentanyl-laced heroin that floods Amsterdam's red light into a red tide of overdoses. Sensational sting. In Operation Silent Sea 2023, Dutch Navy divers board a banana boat, finding not fruit, but a submersible drone hauling 200 kilos from underwater clans in the Adriatic. Mutri tech smuggled from Chinese triads. The highways now high seas horrors where a wrong whisper sinks ships and souls alike. Empire without borders. A criminal system with no capital city. The Mutri's mastery? An empire ethereal. No Rome, no Chicago, just a web of whispers spanning Sofia to Salzburg, Tirana to Thessaloniki, where clans like the Kelmendi in Kosovo and Shaksha in Shkodër operate as autonomous cells, bound by Besa but free to feud. Suspense in the sprawl. A 2018 Vienna raid seizes $10 million from a fruit company owned by a Plovdiv wrestler, traced to a Duras clan via encrypted Viber, the network a neural net of nodes where a Berlin brothel funds a Sofia casino, and a Rotterdam lode finances a Tirana wedding turned vendetta. The borderless beast. By 2025, Europol estimates $15 billion annual flow, heroin 60%, cocaine 20%, human cargo the rest. Laundered through Black Sea resorts and Bulgarian wine exports, clans crossing EU frontiers like ghosts. They're no capital. Code a cunning camouflage that lets one cells fall, leave others untouched. Sensational saga. The Ghost of Gjirokastër, a 2024 assassination of a Greek fence in Albania's south, his body dumped in a border river, with a note in Kanun code. Besa broken, blood bought. Sparking a feud that ripples to Rotterdam raids, where 50 killers seized in 2025 bears Albanian stamps, the empire's pulse pounding without a heart. No king, no castle, just an invasion infinite where the quiet conquers all. The endless echo, whispers that won't fade. The Mutri's quiet invasion isn't invasion, it's infestation. Their mountain-born menace metastasized into Europe's veins. 2025's EU Parliament probes unearthing $2 billion in frozen assets but failing to freeze the fear. As Sofia's streets hum with hybrid airs, crypto-clad clans blending Kanun with blockchain, the ghosts of '89 grin from the graves. Wrestlers who ruled with rackets now reign with remittance, their blood oaths binding a borderless beast that bows to no badge. What if the next bomb isn't in a car but in code, a digital detonation from Dubai that downs a Balkan bank? If this subterranean sprawl has you scanning the shadows for silent sovereigns, subscribe to Behind the Veil Truths on YouTube. We'll keep infiltrating the invisible, unmasking one unspoken oath at a time. The next whisper, it's already winding your way.